Your blood pressure naturally drops 10 to 20% during sleep. That's when your cardiovascular system repairs itself. But 5 common foods eaten at dinner quietly prevent this drop from happening. The third one sits in 8 out of 10 refrigerators right now. And if you're over 60, eating it after 6 p.m. could keep your blood pressure dangerously high all night long. I'm talking about real research from the American Heart Association, not internet myths. And the solution isn't complicated. Blood pressure follows a 24-hour rhythm. It rises when you wake up and naturally falls during sleep. Researchers call this nocturnal dipping. When your blood pressure dips properly at night, your arteries get to rest and repair. But when certain foods block this dip, your cardiovascular system stays under stress for 8 straight hours. Research published in the journal Hypertension shows that people whose blood pressure doesn't dip at night face double the risk of heart attack and stroke compared to those with normal dipping patterns. Your body after 60 processes sodium differently than it did at 40. Your kidneys filter more slowly, your blood vessels have less flexibility, and you retain water more easily. That's why the same meal that didn't bother you 20 years ago now causes swollen ankles, morning headaches, and elevated pressure readings. These 5 foods are particularly problematic when eaten at night because they interfere with your body's natural blood pressure rhythm during its most vulnerable hours.
First food on our list: processed red meats. Bacon, salami, pepperoni, hot dogs, deli meat, anything cured, smoked, or preserved. A Penn State University study of over 31,000 adults found that people who ate processed meat regularly were 29 to 39% more likely to have high blood pressure. Just 2 slices of deli meat contains 600 milligrams of sodium. That's already 40% of the American Heart Association's recommended daily limit of 1,500 milligrams for people managing blood pressure. But the real problem isn't just salt. These meats contain nitrates and nitrites, preservatives that keep meat looking fresh. Research in the European Heart Journal tracked 100,000 people and found those eating processed red meat 4 times weekly had a 26% higher hypertension risk. When you eat these at dinner, here's what happens. The massive sodium load hits your bloodstream right when your body should be winding down. Your kidneys work overtime trying to process it during sleep hours. A study from Brazil's Elsa Brazil cohort followed 8,000 people for 4 years. Those consuming processed meat regularly developed hypertension at significantly higher rates than those who avoided it. Replace dinner portions with grilled chicken, baked fish, or plant proteins like lentils and beans.
Next, food number 2, jarred tomato sauce. Fresh tomatoes are healthy. They contain lycopene and potassium. But jarred marinara, canned tomato soup, and bottled pasta sauces? Different story. 1/2 cup of typical jarred sauce contains 500 to 600 milligrams of sodium. Most people pour 1 to 2 cups over pasta, consuming 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams in one sitting, nearly your entire daily sodium budget. Research from the University of Michigan Medical School found that high-sodium meals eaten within 3 hours of bedtime cause reactive hypertension. Your blood pressure spikes within 30 to 90 minutes and stays elevated for up to 6 hours. There's a hidden problem: added sugars. Most commercial sauces add sugar to balance acidity. When you combine high sodium with sugar at night, you create what researchers call a perfect storm. Your body releases insulin to handle the sugar, which signals your kidneys to retain sodium. This raises blood pressure even higher. Make sauce at home using fresh tomatoes, garlic, olive oil, and herbs. Or use brands like Silver Palette Low Sodium at 140 milligrams per serving instead of regular varieties. Next, food number 3, ketchup and barbecue sauce. 1 tablespoon of ketchup contains 160 milligrams sodium and 4 grams of sugar. Most people use 3 to 4 tablespoons without measuring. Barbecue sauce is worse.
A typical serving has 290 to 360 milligrams sodium, plus high fructose corn syrup. A National Institute on Aging study found that people over 60 who regularly used high-sodium, high-sugar condiments with dinner showed significantly higher nighttime blood pressure readings than those using herbs and spices. Think of your blood vessels after decades of use. They've lost elasticity, like old rubber bands. When you add salt and sugar late in the day, you're stretching those vessels when they should be relaxed. Over time, this constant nighttime stress causes arterial stiffness, a major risk factor for cardiovascular disease. Use mustard, nearly zero sodium, fresh salsa, or make your own low-sodium barbecue sauce using no salt-added tomato sauce, vinegar, and spices.
Next, food number 4, red wine. You've heard about the French paradox and resveratrol, but research from the American College of Cardiology shows that alcohol, including red wine, temporarily raises blood pressure. Even one glass can elevate systolic pressure by 5 to 10 points within an hour. The timing matters most. When you drink wine with dinner, you're consuming it during hours when your blood pressure should naturally lower for sleep. A study in the journal Circulation found that people drinking alcohol within 4 hours of bedtime had significantly reduced nocturnal dipping. Their pressure stayed high through the night. Research published in Hypertension Journal studied healthy men for 4 weeks. Those drinking red wine daily showed increases of 2.9 mmHg in systolic blood pressure and elevated heart rates during sleep by 5 beats per minute. After 60, your body metabolizes alcohol more slowly. What cleared your system in 3 hours at age 40 now takes 5 or 6 hours. A glass of wine at 7 p.m. is still affecting your blood pressure at midnight. If you enjoy wine, have it earlier, at lunch or late afternoon, limited to 3-4 ounces. Or switch to a splash of pomegranate juice with sparkling water for similar antioxidants without the blood pressure spike.
Next, food number 5, pickled red vegetables. Fresh beets are excellent, high in natural nitrates that help blood vessels relax and can actually lower blood pressure. But pickled beets are different. The pickling process requires massive amounts of salt. 1/2 cup of pickled beets contains 200 to 340 milligrams of sodium. Pickled red cabbage is similar. Research in the Journal of Human Hypertension found that people consuming high-sodium foods within 3 hours of bedtime showed average blood pressure increases of 8 to 12 points overnight. Their morning readings were significantly higher too. Here's the medication interaction many people miss. If you take ACE inhibitors or other blood pressure medications, these drugs help your kidneys excrete sodium. When you eat high-sodium pickled vegetables at night, you're working against your medication. Your body can't process that much sodium quickly enough, causing pressure spikes even while medicated. Eat fresh or roasted beets instead, seasoned with olive oil, lemon, and fresh herbs. If you love the tangy flavor, make quick pickles at home using apple cider vinegar with minimal salt, or enjoy small amounts in the morning, not at night.
These aren't never-again foods. This is about timing and smart choices to support your cardiovascular system during critical nighttime hours. The 4-hour rule. Stop eating high-sodium foods 4 hours before bed. If you sleep at 10 p.m., finish dinner by 6 p.m. Simple swaps. Processed meat to grilled chicken, fish, or beans. Jarred sauce to fresh tomatoes with herbs. Ketchup to mustard or fresh salsa. Red wine at night to herbal tea, or wine earlier in day. Pickled beets to roasted beets with olive oil. Flavor without salt, use fresh lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, garlic, onion powder, not garlic salt.
paprika, cumin, black pepper, fresh herbs like basil, oregano, and thyme. Research from the National Institutes of Health shows that when people gradually reduce sodium over 2 to 3 weeks, their taste receptors reset. Foods they thought were bland suddenly taste better. Tonight, look in your refrigerator. Find one of these 5 foods. Read the sodium content on the label. Tomorrow, make one swap, just one. Replace your pasta sauce with fresh tomatoes and garlic. Use mustard instead of ketchup. Choose fish instead of deli meat. Notice how you feel the next morning. Many people report less puffiness, fewer morning headaches, and lower blood pressure readings. If this information helps you, type yes in the comments and share this with someone you care about, your spouse, your siblings, friends in your community. Blood pressure is called the silent killer because you don't feel damage until it's done, but you now have information to protect yourself. Subscribe because I'll keep bringing you research-backed, practical information. No miracle cures, no overnight fixes, just real science in plain language that helps you take control of your health. Your health is your greatest wealth. Protect it wisely.